I'm Todd Townsend here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona with newdomain.net, and I'm here with Paulina from Toca Boca. Now, Toca Boca is a children's game company, and I was looking at what you're doing here. One, it's very colorful, but your games seem different. They're more about creativity. I don't see a lot of levels. I don't see a lot of gun shooting. Tell me a little bit about the type of games you develop.
We actually don't call them games at all. We call them digital toys to sort of emphasize the fact that they're not about competition, they're not about achievements or collecting points. It's more like a free space for kids to have fun and explore. And they're sort of based on the idea that kids learn and sort of just develop by playing and exploring different activities and themes. And this is the sort of digital take on that.
Would you kind of say it's kind of a Montessori for the iPad, let's say, the freedom of movement?
Yeah, I went to Montessori myself, so I happen to know what it's about. But the founders just sort of based in on fundamental psychological sort of and play needs that kids have. So it's definitely sort of the design of all of these apps are based on fundamental needs that kids have. Not necessarily Montessori, but just fundamental in general. Yeah.
So it seems like it's a little less structured. It's not about completing a level per se. It's more about building, the child can take time in that app to create something new.
Exactly. Even though we define the theme for the app, so in this case it's about sort of taking care of pets, so that we sort of designed a frame. We designed it to be open-ended and just fun and in different ways.
So it's almost going to be used to teach children lifestyle skills, you could say, create games with things they need to learn as they get a little bit older.
Yeah, you can either just have fun or you can actually learn, which you probably will, even though, nobody tells you to, because when you do things, you learn. But we encourage parents to use the apps with their kids sometimes. I'm a parent myself, so I know you can't always do that. And sometimes you just sort of need something that sort of your kid can do to have fun or sort of kill time. But we really encourage kids to play together and parents to play with their kids, because it's a great platform for discussing things, sort of what happens when you're sick. It doesn't have to be pets. It could be you or somebody you know that has to go to the hospital, and sort of just touch on themes from a kid's perspective.
Now, I've heard that this has been pretty successful and pretty popular, something like 60 million plus downloads.
Yeah, definitely. We now launch apps on Android as well, but most of those 60 million are still on the App Store. Because we still sort of launch our apps first on the App Store. But yeah, globally. And basically, one of the sort of fundamental ideas is that our apps don't contain language. We wanted them to be able to go global and be used by kids all over the world from the start. They don't have to be sort of localized or adapted in any way, because again, the themes are fundamental, more or less. So it seems to be working. And another thing that's really important to our apps is that they're gender neutral, which I think we have themes that people might perceive as more girly or boyish, cars or hairdressers, but we always try to design them to sort of make them more gender neutral and available to anyone, so that girls are not scared, so that it doesn't communicate sort of this is an app for boys or this is an app for girls. We make apps for kids, not for boys and girls.
Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
Here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, I'm Todd Townsend for newdomain.net.